Alright guys, so you should have already watched the video by now. We're going to do the guided practice together, so make sure you have your books out in front of you. I know this is a little silly, and it's definitely a little strange because I'm talking to my computer right now. Think of how silly that looks. Alright, so let's take a look at number 1. Why do you need to record the numbers you subtract at each step? So let's use this as an example right here, okay? So we're subtracting 236. You need to record the numbers you subtracted here because all these numbers here should add up to 236. Okay, so I'm going to type that up. Let's get the text box going. You can write as I type, just like we do in class. I'm going to say the sum of the numbers you subtract should equal the number being subtracted. Now, I know it might seem silly to copy that down, so if it's too much for you to copy, I didn't like the green. Let's try purple. If it's too much for you to copy, just make sure you understand what I'm talking about. All right, let's move on to number 2. Anna's trying to find 634 minus 210. She decides to start by subtracting 10 from 634. Do you agree with Anna? Explain. So explain means I gotta have some sort of showing my work here. I can't just say yes or no. So you might be thinking, well, we can't start with the tens, we need to start with the hundreds. And that's okay. But subtracting with the tens first also works. You just have to remember to subtract that hundreds. So let's try it out. Let's do 634 minus 10. Okay, that's going to equal 624. And then I'm going to take 624, and I need to subtract. I did my tens part. Now I'm doing my hundreds. Now I need to subtract 200. That's going to equal 424. Okay, so those of you that may have said, no, you need to do the hundreds first. Let's see if we get to the same answer if we subtract the hundreds first. Okay, so let's do 634 minus 200. That's going to give us 434. And then we're going to take 434. We're going to minus 10. And that's going to give us 424. So, as you can see, no matter which one we subtract first, whether it's the tens place, the tens, or the hundreds, we're still getting to that same answer. So it's whatever makes sense to you, but you should go check your work and add up what you subtracted to see if it equals that number. Okay, so 200 plus 10 equals 210. Yep. 210 equals 210. Yes. Okay. All right, so now they're broke it up for us by place value. All we have to do is kind of sort of fill in the subtraction. So 374 minus 200, that's going to be 174. 174 minus 30 is going to be 144. And you might be thinking, Mrs. Meskel, they're giving you the answers. That is true, but you need to make sure you understand the process, because when we get down to problems like these, they do not give us the answers. 144 minus 4. Now, why do you think they broke up the ones place, the 6, into a 4 and a 2? Well, I could do 144 minus 6, but then I have to regroup backwards in my head. Whereas if I subtract 4, I'm making it a compatible number. Okay, making it easier for me to subtract. So I'm going to subtract that 4 first, and I'm going to get 140. And then I'll subtract that 2, and I can count back easily from 140 2 times to get to 138. Okay? They did that same thing here. In this one, they didn't subtract 70. They broke up 60. I'm sorry, they broke up 70 into 60 and into 10. Okay, because they saw that there was a 6 here in the tens place, so they were going to subtract that part of the tens next. So let's try this one out. 369 minus my hundreds. So there's 100. That's 269. 269 minus 60. It's going to give me 209. Okay, see how that's easier? I'm making the math easier in my head when I break up that tens place into more compatible numbers. 209 minus 10. Okay, minusing just a group of 10. So that's 199. They could have done minus 9 and then minus 6, and it would have given you the same answer if you were thinking that that would have been more compatible. Either way works. 199 minus 5 equals 194. Okay. So for your independent practice here, they're breaking these up for you by steps, right? So it's saying first subtract 500. So what they want you to do is they want you to do 738 minus 500, they're telling you. Okay, and that's going to be 238. Then they're saying subtract 20. 238 minus 20 will be 208. Okay. Oh, I was supposed to write 20 there. Hang on. Minus 20 will give you 218. Okay. And then 218 minus 3 will give you 215. Okay. So I want you to try breaking it up with 6 and 7. Okay. And then on 8, 9, and 10, you can subtract them however you'd like, but please make sure that you're not subtracting them horizontally. I want you to rewrite them out. 455 minus 182. Okay, so try this strategy out first, and then you can subtract these how you would like. I'm going to scroll back up here in case anybody needs to see this part again to finish writing down your notebook, because you should have been following along. Just like we do in class, except you're at home and I'm at home. And then I'll show you down here. I'll underline them so you know you have to do them all. So you guys can finish filling that in. Okay, so then after you finish these ones on the front, you're going to look at the next part that I assigned, which will be the independent practice. It's going to tell you to do these problems. It's also going to tell you what problems to do on the back. Okay, good luck.